been a crap week to be a wrestling fan, hasn't it? And I would imagine, as a WWE wrestler, it's been an absolute pile of shit. They say you can't put a price on loyalty, and as far as WWE understands that phrase, that means it's worthless. I mean, just look at some of the names WWE has let go this week, ostensibly as a reaction to America's ongoing situation and as a result the economic climate, but in reality something about stock prices and so that Vince McMahon can continue living his life as Scrooge McSodding Duck. Zack Ryder, an effective mascot for the brand who has stuck by the company through creative I mean, they put him in a bloody wheelchair and a neck brace, for God's sake, for 15 years, and now he's just been shunted to the scrap heap. Dave Finley, a producer who fell on his own sword to protect WWE's pet project The Miz from his own stupidity in 2011, and then came back a year later to help fashion a whole new paradigm of women's wrestling within the company. Gone, and I would not want to be the guy who had to tell this man he was being released. Mike Chioda, sorry. Mike Chioda, they let him go. A man whose tenure stretches back to Survivor Series 1989, one of the few remaining threads connecting WWE to the golden era. 3 decades of service rewarded by getting released when alternative employment is in short supply. And this isn't even mentioning the whole host of names who risked their own lives and the health and well-being of their own family to ensure that WWE can keep ticking over in the current climate. Despite shutdowns spreading across the states, both No Way Jose and Sarah Logan were there in Florida for a Raw taping this week, despite what must have been a strong desire and advice to stay home. No Way Jose, in fact, travelled from his home on the west coast of Orlando to fulfill his obligations. And what did he get for his troubles? A P45. Now, at time of recording, the details of any severance packages are not known, but the financial band-aid of a golden handshake isn't going to quell any existential crises that some WWE employees who were released, if not all, must be feeling right now. And yes, some may be able to weather the blow slightly better than others as a result of historical earnings or industry assurances that there will be jobs waiting for them when this is all over. But others will be sent into a tailspin of panic. And where do NXT trainees like Alexander Jaksic and MJ Jenkins go from here? Neither of whom have made television appearances. Literally normal jobs, non-wrestling stuff, are unavailable right now. Jenkins' situation is particularly heartbreaking. She lost her brother-in-law and legal guardian to this awful, awful illness. Now she's lost her job. Unfortunately, it seems as though this self-serving cost-cutting might not even be done yet either. By the end of this week, whilst I'm recording this even, we may see more names shifted to WWE's alumni page, jettisoned into this fiscal black hole. I know we keep repeating this, but they do not, financially at least, need to do this. They are still going to be absolutely fine. They future-proof themselves for years, and they're still going to make a profit. Where do the people released go from here? Thankfully, the only saving grace we can take from all this is these heartless bastards cut talent that they didn't need to have on the books in the first place. They've literally just been hoarding them so they couldn't go over there, and now they can't go there or anywhere else. It's absolutely fine to just fire them on the spot. It's unbelievable, genuinely. But the only good thing to come from this, as I said, is watching the wrestling fraternity rally round its brethren. There's Dolph Ziggler, someone who we, and I in particular, have taken shots at in the past, but he's been exemplary on social media, imploring fans to support the guys who have lost their jobs, who may be struggling right now through independent merch sales. Do it. Go and buy one of these t-shirts now from whoever you were a fan of, because they really genuinely need it right now. Then there's someone like Dave Meltzer, the business's most respected journalist after, I don't know, this guy, who's been publishing all the relevant information for these independent contractors, as WWE insist on calling them, showing them how to seek emergency unemployment assistance. Veteran announcer and no stranger of dropping the hatchet, Jim Ross actually offered some words of hope to these guys as well, saying, WWE folks released, please realize this is not the end, but can be your new beginning. And that made me think of someone. You see, for one man given his marching orders, this scenario, what's obviously magnified many times over due to the ongoing global situation, which is, I suppose, like what culture's local medical facility nowadays, this was all too familiar. Do you remember life before AEW? I do. It was a time when the Dudley Boys used to actually get along. Those were the days. Anyway, that was before WWE decided to, hoard all the talent just in case. Before the advent of AEW, WWE's post-WrestleMania Spring Clean was an annual tradition as reliable as the event itself. Yes, in the weeks that followed the show of shows, but crucially before the end of the financial year, WWE wishing someone the best of luck in their future endeavors was as common as me stepping outside any time after April and getting a sunburn. The last time the company condensed its staff with a squeeze anything like this week's was actually around 6 years ago on the 12th of June 2014, which, yes, granted, is a spring clean a little later than usual. Sorry, mum. Among the names released included soon-to-be WWE champions Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, and senior referee and on-screen authority figure and tag team fetishist Teddy Long. Anyway, this brings me to the wrestler that this whole piece is about. Curt Hawkins, a tenured superstar who'd been with the company in the developmental process since 2006, a year in which my hair looked like this. It was a different time. Outside of a tag title run with Zack Ryder, and that time they all cosplayed Edge during a pay-per-view, which I actually thought was really quite clever, to be honest, for my sins. He'd never really been able to break through on the main roster and probably thought it was time for a bit of a change himself. Hawkins' contemporaneous reaction on Twitter, and I can't tell you how many takes that has taken, seemed to echo this sentiment. With good humour, he said, "My worst nightmare has come true. I now have to start paying for my wrist tape again." He saw it as a chance to prove to WWE and perhaps even to himself that he still had something to offer to this business. And it was one that he embraced. Just 2 years later, after a successful spell in Impact, Hawkins earned the call to help bolster SmackDown, with the Blue brand looking to expand its roster after the freshly introduced brand split. Redemption, admittedly following a lengthy but notable losing streak, came alongside best friend Zack Ryder at last year's WrestleMania, the two lifting the Red brand's tag team title straps in one of the night's many feel-good moments. For me, it was literally the second best tag team title win at WrestleMania 35. Regardless, today, that seems like a lifetime ago. Just this week, both of them were released. Hawkins for the second time. Hawkins, under his real name, Brian Myers, once again tweeted about his departure, but the mood was considerably different this time. He said, "Last time I got fired, I had a really funny tweet in response to it. Doesn't really feel appropriate today. I will say this, a lot of very talented people lost their jobs today, and out of this disaster, the pro wrestling community will rise stronger than ever." The sense of betrayal and hurt is clear from Myers' language. So too is the sense of hope. Though the circumstances are dramatically more challenging, and he more than anyone knows that, and as dark as this tunnel of despair may feel right now, there will eventually be a light at the end of it. After all, he's been through this before. So there you have it, Curt Hawkins, the one WWE superstar cursed by mass firings. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as I said here, and as we've said on many other videos, please do all you can to support the recently released staff and wrestlers from WWE, because they need your help more than anyone right now. If they see this video, please do get in touch with us here at What Culture through all the usual social media channels. We would love to help promote and support you in this difficult time, and I personally would love to sit down and chat with a whole host of released wrestlers to talk about their amazing career and to get the fans' questions answered. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at What Culture WWE, and please make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for daily wrestling podcasts as well. But for now, thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.